Hi guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about my add-ons. I have had a few questions in the comments of some of my videos about what add-ons I use, and I did do a video for basic add-ons for beginner players the other day, and this is kind of a good follow-up to that in the sense that it's a little bit more customized if you're interested in that. So I'm going to hope to not ramble on too long today, and let's just get right into it. So in an effort to not make this go on forever, some of the basic add-ons I have that a lot of people have are things like DBM, that's what I use for my boss timers and my raid warnings. I do use GTFO, that lets me know that if I'm standing in something that is damaging, that I should get out of it by playing a very loud sound. Skada is this window over here, that's what I use for my damage meters. And what else? I use Adibags, which I absolutely love, as my bag add-on that kind of just consolidates all the bags. It sorts things. Easy to use, clean. I love it. It's great. I know some people use Bagnon and some of the other ones. I'm a fan of Adibags. What else is kind of basic that we can use here? I do use HealBot for my healing characters. Warlocks are not healers, so obviously that's in there. I have things in here like Personal Loot Helper and Pawn are and Simulationcraft are some of the add-ons I use for helping me with gear and what gear are upgrades for me and things like that. I have RSA Spell Announcer for things like if I'm using my summoning portal, it will tell the chat that I'm using my summoning portal and you should definitely help the Warlock get the summoning portal out. Yeah, I think that's kind of the big ones. I do use World Quest Group Finder, which I absolutely love. It basically just helps you find groups to do world quests, which makes the whole process probably half as long. It cuts the time in half. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I think those are kind of like the main ones. I think what most people are interested in is ElvUI and like Weakauras and what happens when you're in combat. So I'm going to spend the bulk of my video talking about that. So to start, I use ElvUI, which is the complete UI replacement add-on. I do have a couple windows that are skinned to look like they normally would. So like my achievement window looks like the default Blizzard UI. My spellbook looks that way. And that's mostly just a personal preference. I like the way the spellbook looks better this way than it does in ElvUI. I am going to put my profile in the link. I'm going to link, what am I trying to say? I'll have my profile in the description so that if you want to just copy this into your own and customize from there, you're more than welcome to do that. To do that, you'll just have this string of numbers. You'll come down to profiles and you'll click import profile. From there, there'll be a window to copy and paste the string of numbers and letters into. You click OK and voila, here's your new profile. I will say that I have tweaked this on and off for months now. It's just kind of how I do things with my UI. I try and make it as minimal as possible, but also give me the most information that I need. So I've got like my target window, I've got my player window, and then the bars down at the bottom, and then I have some of my other bars up in here. And then I do have my micro menu. What is this called? Game menu? Whatever. Up in here. And it's a mouse over thing because I don't need to see that all the time, I guess would be my thought there. Yeah. Is there anything else I need to say about ElvUI? I don't think so. I would just say, like, it's a little bit intimidating, but just get into it and start, messing around with things, and eventually you're going to come up with something that you really like. One of the things I love about ElvUI is it's super easy to click this toggle anchors thing and just move everything around. I love that about ElvUI. And I love this kind of clean black look to everything. So yeah, that's ElvUI pretty much. So let's talk about Weakauras, because that is a little bit more involved, I would say. Initially, when I first started Weakauras, I just downloaded someone else's, which I'm also going to do. I'm going to export my string of these so that if you want to download them, you can have them. But what I found is that a lot of the add-ons a lot of the Weakauras that people had were just really involved for me, and they weren't really helping with what I needed, and they weren't telling me the things I needed to do the best DPS in dungeons and raids. So I just took what I imported and made my own, essentially. And this is what I have come down to. Right now I'm toggling all of them, I think, except for Havoc. There we go. Now I'm toggling all of them. And yeah, they're basically just the things that I feel like I need to be the best at DPS for a Destruction Warlock. So let's kind of go over what I've got here. So first off, we have Backdraft. So this is kind of like my own personal auras that I put over my nameplate here to help me know this is what's happening. Sorry, my phone just buzzed and I'm sure the mic picked that up. So that's that. And then I've got all of my buffs and debuffs front and center here. So I know exactly when things are counting down. I know exactly when things are ending, and they're in my face, but not so in my face that I'm distracted from whatever mechanics I need to be doing. And they're all lined up nicely. They have a simple, this is what the spell looks like, and it has a timer on it. And then the other thing that I'm really bad about is when my cooldowns are off and when I need to use them. And so I have this handy dandy little like glowy border around all of them. And then the final thing before I just kind of show how this all works together that I have is Doom Shards. You can do these in Weakauras too, but Doom Shards is a great add-on that just kind of does it for you. And it shows you what your shards are, just right there, right by everything else, easy to see. If I click test mode, it'll show you basically how they'll be if it was full. I have them, this is like really, really default. I think the only thing I changed is where it lives, but the color of the shards when it's capped was totally default. How it works is just default. I love it. Simple, easy to use. Oh, you do have to tell it to stop testing though, which is kind of annoying sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into combat here so you can see how this all works in practice, how things show up, and I'll try and point things out as they happen. Cool, so my Immolate Weakaura comes up. I also have my Empowered Life Tap buff coming up here. If I click on Conflagrate, I've got my Backdraft buff there. There's my Lessons of Space-Time one. There's my Eradication one. And then if I was on top of things, I'd also have my Soul Harvest. So let's build this back up and we'll show everything here. Click on that, use my Doom Boy. And now you can kind of see everything working at once because everything should be up at this point. You will have noticed there was a little picture of the summon or the Doom Guard over here that was showing how long he had left up. I have looked and looked and looked for where that lives in my Weakauras, and I cannot for the life of me find it to move it. So do note that if you do use my Weakauras, that's gonna be there. I mean, it's helpful because it does tell you how long your Doom Guard has up, but I have no idea how to move it. I have tried and tried and tried and tried and had no luck at all. I tried, fam. I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of a look at my add-ons. I'm trying to keep this video short because it's a video about add-ons, which is kind of boring, really. I hope this was helpful. I hope that little test of like what everything was helpful. I'm going to open up my list of add-ons one more time just so you can, pause the video and kind of look and go through and be like, hey, look, oh, that's what that is. Oh, OPie is one I didn't talk about. I have a couple spells that I don't use very often, so I use OPie as a way to get them up, and it's basically just bound to a key. I have it bound to Z, and it brings this up, and then I just go over it. And really the main two I use is I use Fear sometimes this way, because I barely ever use Fear, and then I use it as my health funnel to drain health to my demons as well. That's really the main one I use. Just a nice kind of way to clean up your action bars and not have them certain spells showing everywhere, but still have a way to easily pull it up and use them, which is great. Yeah, so that's sort of it. Here's my the rest of my add-ons because I totally got distracted in the middle of that. Yeah, so that's it. So I will put my Weakauras string and my ElvUI string in the description down below if you would like to load either of those profiles into your own WoW UI. Feel free to shoot me questions in the comments if you want to know about anything, or if you know how the heck I move this Doomguard button that was showing up here, please let me know, because I'm very confused on that one. So yeah, that's the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye!